Conflict theory is a theoretical perspective in sociology that emphasizes the role of power and coercion in social relations. It suggests that social inequality and social change occur due to conflict between different social groups that have competing interests and goals. For example, conflict theorists argue that economic inequality is a result of the conflict between the owners of capital, the capitalists, and the workers, the proletariat. The capitalists, who control the means of production, seek to maximize their profits by paying workers low wages and keeping working conditions poor. The workers, on the other hand, seek to improve their working conditions and wages. This conflict between the capitalists and workers can lead to strikes, labor disputes, and other forms of social unrest. Another example of conflict theory in action is the struggle for gender equality. Conflict theorists argue that gender inequality is a result of the power imbalance between men and women. Men, who historically held more power and resources than women, have used their power to maintain their privileged position and to suppress the interests and needs of women. Women, on the other hand, have fought for their rights and equal treatment, leading to movements such as feminism and gender activism. Conflict theory also sheds light on the role of social institutions in perpetuating inequality and maintaining the status quo. For example, the criminal justice system is often criticized for being biased against marginalized groups, such as racial minorities and low-income individuals. Conflict theorists argue that this bias is a result of the power imbalance between these groups and those who hold power in the legal system. In summary, conflict theory provides a lens through which to view social inequality and social change as a result of conflict between different social groups. Examples such as economic inequality, gender inequality, and bias in the criminal justice system demonstrate how this theory can help to explain the power struggles and social conflicts that exist in society. Conflict theory views society as a complex system composed of different parts, with the social structure being shaped by power struggles and conflicts. According to conflict theory, society is organized in a way that benefits those who hold the most power, while disadvantaging those who have less power. For example, conflict theorists argue that racial inequality is a result of the power imbalance between different racial groups. The dominant group, in this case, white people in many societies, has historically held more power and resources than marginalized groups, such as black people or indigenous people. This power imbalance has allowed the dominant group to create and enforce laws and policies that maintain their privileged position and limit the opportunities and resources available to marginalized groups. This creates conflict between different racial groups and leads to social unrest, such as protests and civil rights movements. Conflict theory also emphasizes the role of social change through conflict and struggle. It suggests that social change occurs when marginalized groups challenge the dominant group's power and push for equality and social justice. For example, the civil rights movement in the United States challenged the power of the dominant white group and pushed for equal rights and opportunities for Black Americans. Critics of conflict theory argue that it oversimplifies social relations by reducing everything to power struggles and conflicts. They also argue that it ignores the positive functions of social institutions and the possibility of cooperation and consensus in society. However, conflict theory remains an important theoretical perspective in sociology, providing valuable insights into social inequality.